Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Rosham Joe Paints. As always, my name is Joe and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be unboxing and taking a look at the new Necron Chronomancer. Not quite super new because he was part of the Pariah Kill Team Nexus box thing with the flayed ones. However, now you can order it separately, which is what I did. And so I got just that guy because I was interested in painting him. So let's see what's involved in putting him together. As you can see, I have it in the blister pack here. Instead of being in, I think it's in the kill team, or I don't know, I'll figure it out and I'll put a little thing down there. Where this guy originally was with, I think, some flayed ones, but maybe I'm completely wrong and I'll update myself. But here you go. This is what you get. You get a couple sprues in here and a little blister pack. But since we want to open that up, let's go ahead and do that. And I already cut it because I want to make it easy on myself. So there you go. There are two sprues, like I said, and a large base here, which I shall put to the side. I think this is either the, I don't know, 40, 50, something. I don't know. Whoa, 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 camera. Let's not get crazy, shall we? So, first thing I noticed when I opened this up was 1, 2. Well, that's interesting. It's also very exciting because that means that I can actually put together both staffs, cut them off, make them look nice, trim them off, and see what they look like, and pick which one I want to go with, and then paint the other one as a test piece, because there's a lot of like red effects, at least according to the box art. There's some red that's going on there, and you know, trying to make it look nice before I do it on the other one. The other thing I noticed is that there are 1, 2, 3 head options. I think the one on the box art is this guy right here, which is just kind of like a straight beard. I don't know. Then you got what is a kind of more standard head, and then you got this one, which is, I don't know, but that's the one I think I'm going to go with. It's got like a little third eye up the top here. The piece down the center is split, adds a little bit of extra, you know, contrast. So I think that one will look pretty good. So overall, looks like a pretty simple sprue. And my goodness, hold the camera, Joe. This other sprue though, you got the whole shoulder crown with the little floaty cubes of whatever they are. But again, please notice 1, 2. Once again, we have 2 options for the hands. So even though this is actually a pretty straightforward looking simple model, you actually get a lot of choices in this box, which I like a lot. This is the other half of the orb that goes on one of those staves. So while I probably won't magnetize everything because that just seems kind of ridiculous, I may end up trying to paint this one first, because this is the one where like the box has now opened and the power is coming out of it, or at least that's what it looks like. And if that looks terrible, well, then I'll just use the other one. So there's going to be a lot of testing, a lot of playing around, I think, with these before I'm happy with how they look. However, there you go. There's a couple of sprues. Now I'm going to go cut them all apart, and we will figure out what sort of sub-assemblies we're looking at, and you know, that'll be that. So here we go. We'll start with the spare parts first. This is the staff. The top piece here, notice that the ball is not there. It's actually part of the other staff, which is kind of cool. Got 2 pretty different sections. Also, I'm going to show you this later with the other staff too, but there is like a centering pin for the hand here, and this little piece of the tail, or one of the tails, that is just kind of sitting there, part of the staff. Glad that I didn't have to glue that on. It works out pretty well, but I'll show you in a second. Then, of course, we have the 2 other spare heads. I won't be painting these this time, but I will be probably putting them aside just in case there's another model that comes up later on that I don't like the head for, then I can swap it out. And then, of course, this is the other hand that has the box, which is currently closed, whatever that ends up being. I'm not sure. Might be something on the data sheet, but basically it's a closed version. I'm going to probably end up painting the one that is opening because it looks pretty, you know, looks a little cooler. So, but those are the spare parts you're going to have afterwards if you choose to take the same route as I am for, you know, conversions or, you know, practice on other things. So, but let's get to the model. And right now, It is stuck together with some sticky tack, and barely so. So I'm going to try to go over it pretty quickly. This is what it will look like assembled. Hooray! Now I'm going to take the arm off because it's basically just trying to fall off itself. Once I glue it on, that'll be much better. I might end up gluing this on prior to assembly because his arm does stick out a decent bit. So once I take everything else apart, actually I'll show you. But I'm gonna take this apart first and take the sticky tack off there. And so this has 2 of these pieces actually come off, and I think, while it will be annoying, I'm going to try to paint those separate because then I can actually get a good amount of this this orb or whatever it is painted up without having to worry about them, and then I'll just glue them on later, and then that'll be that. So, but yeah, I like that. Basically, it's like he's unlocking whatever power this is, and it's making that orb expand. He's also got a few more of them, as you can see here around the top. The head there is a hose, some sort of connector here that actually attaches to the back of his head there. That might be a little bit of a pain, but it actually is kind of nice for knowing like roughly where his head is. There you go, something along those lines. So let's take this piece off next. So that guy right there is all one solid piece. I'm going to paint that separately as well. And then of course you have the staff here. Now what I was talking about, you see that little pin on his hand? This is kind of nice because it's actually holding that staff quite well. And then down here, you don't really see which is the piece that is part of the staff and which is a piece that is actually part of the model itself. And I like that because it's basically, even without the sticky tack stuff, it's actually holding that staff in place really, really well. So that means that you can paint it and then later on just kind of pop it into place. Barely any super glue, and it's good to go. So I really like it when they do stuff like that, where you don't need to mess around a lot to get something to stay, because that's going to take barely any glue later on whatsoever. The rest of this, I think, is all glued together. There was this one piece which had to be glued on, and then you got the spine which got glued on, and the 2 pieces, the 2 halves of the body that got glued together. But other than that, so I'm going to paint it, I think, in a couple of, basically it's going to be this piece right here. Again, I might end up putting, simply because I don't trust this hand to glue on well with super glue later, because the contact point is very small. I might use some plastic glue and just pop that into place, and then be able to dry brush or paint all the silver. And because this arm sticks out pretty good ways from the body, I shouldn't have any issues painting that or painting anything that's under it. But so there you go. Overall, really easy model to put together. This little tiny piece was probably the most aggravating, just because I wanted to make sure it got in there right. And then again, the hand, if I was gluing it on, would have been much easier, but since I was sticky tacking for the time being, it was kind of a little bit of annoying, but okay, we got that. So there you go. That's what. And so there you have it. Very easy, very quick to put this model together. I actually really liked the mold lines on this guy, and that doesn't make sense because, it's not a recast of an older one. It is a new sculpt and all that stuff. So I didn't really find too many places that I had to clean up, and I always enjoy when they put the extra effort in there to either hide the mold lines really, really well, or like the cut points, aren't in a bad place. So overall, very enjoyable model to put together. When I get around to painting it, I'll make sure that I put a link to both the Completely Ramble full and the Completely Ramble free versions underneath this video somewhere. So check the description. It might be out. I don't know when you're watching this. So that mentioned, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for more notifications. There won't be a whole lot of those notifications because it does take me a while to put stuff out. But, if you're enjoying it, might be worth a shot. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So, hey, who knows? Yeah, that's all I got for now. Look forward to more unboxing, how I paint. Let me know if there's anything that you find interesting and you think I can, explore and maybe give you some tips or tricks, or maybe I'll need to learn it myself. Who knows? But with all that said, which was far too long to be an outro thing, see you in the next one. Bye.